Okay, kids, today we're going to talk about the Dollars Trilogy by Sergio Leone. So I finally got around to watching the Dollars Trilogy back to back, non-stop, uncut. I've seen A Fistful of Dollars multiple times. A few dollars more in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly for some reason I'd seen bits and pieces of whenever it was on TV throughout my whole life, pretty much. But I finally sat down and watched them back to back, back to back to back. And what an experience. I didn't realize this, but going into this, a YouTube commenter pointed it out when I wanted to make sure I watched them in the right order. Because I always get Fistful of Dollars and For a Few Dollars More mixed up in their titles, so I wanted to watch the right one first before The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I know was the final installment. And lo and behold, bleh, lo and behold, turns out this entire trilogy plays like a prequel trilogy. The further you go into it, the further you're going back in time. That had to be some sort of cinematic milestone. I'm not sure anybody had done a trilogy in reverse before. That's incredible to think of. And Sergio did this in the 60s. Yeah, just one more mind-blowing thing that happens in these movies. What struck out at me was, of course, the cinematography and the wide-open landscapes. Never let it be said Sergio Leone is afraid to leave a camera still in one wide shot and let some action play out. Man, that guy must have been the king of wide cinematic shots. He ain't afraid of them. On top of that was the over-the-shoulder shots, I want to call them, where you got a subject in the foreground and someone else in the background affecting the subject, whether it's good or bad. It's always vice versa too. The amount of those he set up was amazing. A lot of groundbreaking stuff. I want to say the lighting too, especially. I noticed it as the trilogy grew older. As the trilogy grew on, as our friend Edward P. Dowd might say, as the trilogy wore on. Didn't have a nice ring to it. So as the trilogy wore on, I noticed the lighting, like on Lee Van Cleef, but you could see the highlights on both of his cheeks, just how well lit everything was. Even inside a dark cabin, the lighting was impeccable. It's the only way I know how to describe it. And the performances are top notch. You believe every single person is living in this universe. I love the way they reused players in different roles because they were working well together, like many movie houses did back then. And you can clearly see how he set the stage for so many westerns to come out after that. This guy set the bar. He set the tone that gunslinger westerns tried to become and achieve. Oh my gosh. The reverence for the Civil War battles and The Good and the Bad and the Ugly, that'll touch your heart. And then that's what leads to the man with no name, who clearly has three names, getting his poncho. I call that about three different names. I apologize. I'm not sure exactly what to historically call it. But he finally gets his poncho through an act of kindness for a dying Civil War soldier. And that was unexpected. That just goes to show how Even though he acts pretty callous and mean sometimes, he was the good. And the good, the bad, and the ugly. Or is the ugly the good and the dead, however you want to look at it. Looking to upgrade soon. I hear the 4K did turn out okay. They didn't mess up anything. I heard the 4K of the Dollars Trilogy turned out pretty nice. I know there's some good commentaries beginning with the Blu-ray transfer, at least. So I'll be upgrading to the Blu-ray or the 4K transfer and looking forward to those behind-the-scenes commentaries on these incredible productions of cinematic history. Sergio Leone's Dollars Trilogy. If you haven't watched it yet, I say, what are you waiting for?